Hello YouTube and welcome to today's video. It might be on the longer side because someone in last week's comment section wanted me to address ethical veganism slash vegetarianism, and I will do that on Wednesday. But today I wanted to address an issue that I've been meaning to make a video about for a while, and it is tangentially related to vegetarianism. And that issue is basically the naturalistic fallacy, which in a nutshell states that things that are natural are necessarily good for you or better than something artificial. And obviously no one applies this universally because there are poisonous and dangerous things in nature, obviously. You know, all kinds of, well, not even counting animals, but plants and microorganisms that are perfectly natural that will harm us. But still, in food and medicine and other areas, a lot of people gravitate toward or feel like it is worth more if a product or something is natural, or at least seems natural. And again, to a certain extent, I agree, but I also think that that mindset is dangerous in some cases. The prime example being, you know, naturalistic medicine or organic GMO-free foods. Those things aren't necessarily bad, but again, we can do better. You know, nature takes a long time for us to, breed crops or figure out how to best use certain medicinal compounds. And we can actually improve on those things and as they apply to helping humans. You know, that's what we've done. And, the idea of preferring, like, a tea brewed with some medicinal compound as opposed to a purified and optimized version of that compound that is produced cheaply and easily uh, is kind of silly to me. Like, there's nothing inherently, good about it being unaltered. Um, I realize that with these sort of things, it's all tangled up with issues of patenting and corporate greed, but I think that's kind of a separate issue. Um, at least I would like people to think of that as a separate issue, as opposed to the actual effectiveness of synthetic or modified compounds in some cases. And how especially this applies to food and meat consumption, even though I am a meat eater and I love it, I do think that a really good idea for environmental reasons is really getting good at growing meat tissue in labs. That solves a lot of problems. And obviously the technology isn't there yet, but most people have like a gut reaction of, ew, that's icky and that's unnatural. Well, guess what? The entirety of human civilization has been us building a giant middle finger shaped monument toward nature. Very few things we do are natural, and that's a good thing. We escaped the system, and that's not necessarily a good situation for everything else on the planet, but I'm going to be a little bit selfish and human-centric and say I want all humans to prosper. And going backward to a more natural time is not going to do that. Evolution is a blind natural force that shapes organisms, but if it could talk to us, it would say this: okay, humans, you're gonna lose your hair, you're not gonna be very strong, you're not gonna have claws, you're not gonna have teeth, your babies are going to be helpless for many, many years until they grow up. But you're going to have massive brains, and you're going to be able to invent things that no other organism can, and you're going to have this intense desire to protect your tribe. And one day, every human is going to be one tribe, and on that day, you will be able to permanently escape a natural cycle of suffering and death and truly prosper as a species. And saying that, obviously, nature and biology and natural systems are very good at doing certain things. And we do need to take care of our environment, but for completely selfish reasons that we are dependent on the environment. And while we can learn from nature and be inspired by nature and use natural systems, we can also employ our intelligence and our creativity to make things better for all people. And going backward is not going to help that. Thank you for watching.